Most Americans have been programmed to define success as being rich and having nice things. Imagine a new way of thinking, defining success by how many children you saved from starving to death. Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, so people think he is a great success. Imagine if he used his wealth to end world hunger for the next 10 years. Now that's what I call a true success. Imagine having the title richest man in the history of the world, who gave it all up to end world hunger once and for all. Now that would be a truly great man. I ask, what is the purpose to life? My answer would be 1. Working hard to provide for your family and your children. 2. Doing charitable good acts with the rest of your wealth and time. What is the point of dying with $1 million in your bank account? Your family legacy matters. Don't you want your family legacy to be a family that provided 1 million meals to children that are literally starving to death? Sure, you want to leave that $1 million to your children so they can have a good life. But there are more important things like saving countless children from famine. And that's what we Americans should be teaching our children. Not to just work every day to buy more and more worthless material possessions. We Americans should not be teaching our children to want a mansion and a yacht, but to want to help children in poor parts of the world where there is no food. What is even the point to having $200 billion like Elon Musk if it is just going to sit in a bank account until you die? Can you even imagine the actual impact $200 billion can make if every penny of that was spent on food for starving children? Imagine just simply knowing that you did something great in your life by feeding countless starving children. Or imagine when you die, and you are being judged by God, and He looks at your life, and sees that you spent your fortune and life's wealth on food for starving kids in poor parts of the world. Why do we idolize rich famous people in America like Kim Kardashian? I really can't remember the last time I've seen any celebrity advocating for ending world hunger, or encouraging people to care about feeding starving children on the other side of the world. Why have I never heard any American politician advocating to end world hunger? We are the richest country in the history of the world after all. Shouldn't the topic at least be on the table to talk about and to address? This is a humanitarian crisis. Most Americans just work at a job and provide for themselves and their family. The average American does not have large savings. I am simply saying that what we Americans have been taught to define as success, there has to be more to life than that. There has to be a greater purpose. There has to be more to life than a 30-year mortgage and wanting a new $80,000 truck every 5 years. The minds of Americans have been poisoned by greed and materialism over the generations. Endlessly consuming new products cannot be the ultimate goal of our lives as Americans. There is another way of thinking, and we can embrace it as a society and a culture. Let's embrace the goal to end world hunger. What could be more important than that? The goals that make sense is providing for our families, and also providing food for starving children who have no choice but to starve to death. An adult in a poor part of the world has the ability to try to get food, but a child has very limited options, if any options at all, especially in a place like Northern Africa, or in the Middle East where it is a giant desert and it's basically impossible for a child to grow crops. Countless children in this world do not have parents. How will they eat? Starving children out there need help. That's more important than who won last night's stupid football game. If you call yourself a real man and you are hearing this, then make sure your family legacy includes sending tons of food to poor orphans around the world now, before it's too late. Tomorrow isn't promised. We must all do what we can and send food today. Be that hero. Be that champion.
3 easy steps to send food. Step 1. Find an orphanage in a poor part of the world. It's very simple. We just go to Google and type in something like Manila, Philippines orphanages. Then we have a large list of orphanages to look at and choose from. It's great because we can easily see the orphanage address, so we know where to send the food to. It is best to contact the orphanage before you have food delivered, because you want to make sure they are willing to accept the food donation. Step 2. Find a local grocery store or food wholesaler that can deliver. Let's type in something like Manila, Philippines grocery store. We are given a huge list of stores with direct links to their websites. Being able to see it on a map lets us see how far the food delivery will have to drive in order to deliver the food to the orphanage. Let's try this one, SM Supermarket Manila. Let's buy 500 pounds of rice for this example. Rice, potatoes, meat, and vegetables would be ideal because we want to send tons of nutritious meals for the children, but it also depends what the orphanage can store and cook. Sending a lot of meat requires lots of refrigeration, so to do that we would have to make sure the orphanage can handle that. Step 3. Place the order and have it delivered. All we have to do is put the orphanage address as the shipping address. Ask the orphanage or food supplier to send you a picture of the delivered food once it is delivered, so you will then have your very own trusted food supply pipeline to poor orphans. Once you know that you can trust the food supplier and they will provide you with picture or video proof, then you can place more food orders with them in the future and they can deliver to many more orphanages in their area. Advanced tip: for larger bulk orders, you definitely want to find a local food wholesaler. I personally have used a rice wholesaler in Manila, Philippines called North Pasadena, and they have successfully delivered 33 out of 33 large bulk rice deliveries. I encourage everyone to find and create your own food supply pipeline to orphanages. This is what matters in life. Be a hero, and send food to starving children.